Yo, what up though? It's your man DJ iCENTRIC, and this is the Realest Spit. Shout out to my man Smith, man. He'll be with it after a while. He had to fall back for a minute. I'm gonna kick it to y'all a couple times myself, man. Do want to apologize for being gone for so long. As I said, we just had to do a little bit of housekeeping, man. But I'm back in full effect. DJ iCENTRIC, your man, aka the Soul Whisperer, aka the Motown Mutant, in full effect. About to break it down for y'all like I do, the Realest Spit. Just kicking, the real about real shit that's going on in the hood, around the world. No gossip, no bullshit, just real spit. I know I done missed a few topics, man. There's a couple things from the past I may reach back on and touch on, man, just to let y'all know what it is. But for now, the topic's at hand. The first thing that comes to mind, man, has been actually kind of bothering me all week. This situation with the Houston Astros, man. It's a sticky situation. Well, it ain't really sticky. I mean, they cheated. The only question is, what's the penalty? It's always amazing how the person or the people that get caught cheating always play the role. Oh, well, it ain't a big deal. Oh, well, you know what, man, that don't change. I mean, we still the best athletes. We still was the best team. Well, how do you know that if you were cheating? You know what I'm saying? How do you know that if you were playing with an advantage? How do you know that you're better than everybody else? How do you even really know if you're a good athlete or not? If you're playing with an unfair advantage, you're using technology that, other teams don't have access to, and, some teams aren't even privy to even know about. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really understanding the logic in that, man. The penalty should be, yes, they should have to forfeit that championship. The league has already said they're not going to penalize the individual players. They already made a promise that they weren't going to penalize the individual players. That's how they were able to get the truth. But they should forfeit the actual title itself. Those players should forfeit their championship rings. They should not get to call themselves champions after we know that they've cheated. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's really a no-brainer. I'm not really sure how or why we're still talking about that. The story should have been presented as though, we discovered these guys were cheating and therefore we forfeited their championship. They are not the champions. There is not a champion. There is not a baseball champion of 2017. And, we'll all respect it much better. You have to, kind of going on along the limbs that LeBron James was going with it. I mean, you kind of really have to do that, not just for baseball, but you have to do it for professional sports altogether. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, what is this worth, man? If you sit up here and tell us that we find out someone is cheating, and then, and basically they got rewarded for it. If the only penalty is that everybody points at them and calls them cheaters, okay, well, in that sense, I guess it's probably worth it. They still get the title. They still got the money that they made. I mean, that sounds like, a fair exchange for me. They have to forfeit that championship. They cannot call themselves champions of 2017. I'm not even a baseball fan, but like I said, that's kind of for sports as a whole, professional sports as a whole. You're kind of really cheating the fans in a sense. We watch this thing really trying to see who the best is, who's the best athlete, who's the best team, who's the better coach, what's the better organization, and to find out that this organization, this team, this coach, these players cheated. I mean, that's horrible. It leaves a very, very bad taste in everybody's mouth. And I'm warning the MLB, if y'all just let that hang, if y'all call yourselves just trying to let, just hopefully this thing will just go away, something else will happen and everybody will forget about this and this will just go away. If y'all leave this in the air like that, y'all are gonna the little bit of what's the better word? The little bit of enjoyment that baseball has. I mean, y'all gonna take it away. I mean, baseball has been through enough, through the steroid era and the PEDs and all of that, man. This, you have to do the right thing with this. You know what I'm saying? You didn't handle those things correctly. You have to handle this correctly. You have to take that championship away from the Houston Astros, man. Because what's to prevent another team from doing this? And if another team does do it, how you gonna punish them? You know what I'm saying? Well, you gonna forfeit their championship? You gonna suspend them? You know what I'm saying? You gonna destroy the next team that tries to do it, and you're not gonna do anything to this team that's already benefited from it? I mean, that's not right, man. Take that championship away from the Houston Astros, man. You guys are not real champions. I'm sorry. Moving on to the next topic. I want to send out a very sincere RIP to the young rapper Pop Smoke, who was murdered yesterday morning in his own home invasion. Say guys ran up into his home with ski masks on, and I read a couple different articles and heard a few different reports. I'm not hearing where anything was even taken. You know, I don't know if it was actual robbery or, you know, did somebody just actually go in there and kill the dude. I mean, I don't mean to, I certainly don't mean to laugh, because it's not a laughing matter. Further investigating, it seems as though he may have had a hand in his own death. You know what I'm saying? Messing around with this social media thing. Once again, man, you young folks got to realize, man, this, you know, while it seems like all fun and games, and it seems like a joke, and while you know you are presenting yourself to the world, I don't think that fully locks in all the way to you young cats, man. You're really displaying yourself to the world. Now, in Pop Smoke case, I don't think he intended to put his address on IG like that. I don't really think he even thought about it. You know what I'm saying? And probably, to that very second, of his passing, I don't even know if he realized what he did. You know what I'm saying? Because, but yeah, man. I mean, it's kind of really hard to speak on it, because, you know what I'm saying, it's too fresh, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but he was a young cat, just brand new into the game, man. He was heating up, hadn't even got hot yet, but his music was just starting to kind of make his way through the ears of the hip hop fan base. The hip hop artists seem, those that knew him seem to love him. Nobody has anything but good things to say about him. And from what I've seen, and the couple interviews or whatever that I've seen him, he seems like he seemed like a well-rounded, smart dude. Obviously, to be 20 years old and already be seeing success, and already be seemingly sitting on money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I imagine that means he made a couple decent moves. It's just unfortunate that his life was taken before it had even got a chance to begin. So like I said, I'm not gonna speak too much on how I feel about it, because like I say, some things I may say may offend some folks, man, and it's still fresh. So right now we'll just leave it as a sincere rest in peace. My condolences to his family. I don't know if he had any children or not, but my prayers go out to all of y'all, man. Death is hard. It's hard to lose a loved one. Especially when it's unexpected, especially, in a situation where it's like, man, he was just right here. He was just sitting right here. I just talked to him. And then to hear hours later that he's gone, I mean, that hurts, man. I've experienced that way too many times in my life, man. And I can tell you, from my own personal experience, that definitely hurts, man. So R.I.P. Pop Smoke. And on that note, we'll move on to the next situation at hand, man. One thing I did want to speak on, man, as I said, going back to some previous topics that I missed and didn't get a chance to speak on, with this whole I call it, the whole Dwayne Wade situation. I call it the Wade way. That's a nickname I gave it. But just kind of touching bases on the situation where he's saying his son has decided he no longer wants to be identified as a little boy. He wants to be recognized as a little girl, to grow up into a woman. Now this, obviously, everybody knows the story. I'm not introducing anything new. This is a 12-year-old child that has said, you know what, I don't want to be a little boy anymore. Please refer to me as a little girl. I'm gonna tell you my initial reaction when I heard about that. First thing I thought about is why am I hearing about this? What business is this? What business is this of mine? Why is this information I need? I believe wholeheartedly that this is something that should have stayed, private in the Wade household, not necessarily a secret, but private. Because when you put information like that out here, obviously it's something as odd and unusual. Not only someone deciding that they want to make a gender change, but a 12-year-old child deciding that they want to make a gender change, and the parents say, okay, yeah, great, let's do that. It's not. Certainly I have an opinion on it, but I think it's best. One thing I always say. One of my sayings is the best support that I can show to a lot of things. The best support that I can give you is my silence. Just not saying anything, not speaking at all. Because when I do speak, if I really tell you how I feel, it's a good chance that you're not going to like it. It's a good chance that it's not going to help your cause or your movement. So the best support I can give you is just to stay silent and let you do you, let you say what you need to say or do what you need to do. And, I kind of just fall back and just watch how it all unfolds. And dear LBGT community, to the LBGT community and the outspoken supporters of that community, again, I want to say it one more time. Silence is the best support that some people can give you. Just because I'm silent, just because I'm not speaking on it, doesn't mean that I have a problem with it. Doesn't mean that I have any kind of ill will or have a disrespectful thought or disrespectful feeling about it. Sometimes we really just don't care. That's why we're not saying it. And the message I want to send to the LBGT community, man, is stop forcing us into y'all conversations. And then when we get into when the conversation goes on, you want to tell us what we got to think and how we have to feel about it. And, you better say something. And whatever you say, it better not be disrespectful and it better not be discouraging. We're not going to be, we're not going to continue to be bullied by y'all, man. Y'all can't bully. Y'all not going to bully us, man. And to, believing what y'all, believing or thinking how y'all want us to think is the best way to say it, man. Like I said, silence is the best support I can give you. Just because I'm not wearing your t-shirt and carrying your flag and coming out and dancing at your parade doesn't mean that I don't support you. You know what I'm saying? My support is just falling back and letting you do you. And letting it be what it be. Stop making me speak on stuff, because when I speak, again, you're probably not going to like what I say. What I say is likely not going to help your cause any. You know what I'm saying? We all thought originally that the movement, the LBGT movement, was about you guys fighting for your right to be who you are and love who you want to love and not be judged or harmed by it. And I think I can safely say, you know what I'm saying, just based on what I see and what I notice, I think in 2020, we have officially arrived to that point. We don't give a fuck. Like, we really don't care anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's to the point where it's really not even weird anymore. It's just, okay, y'all gay. You know what I'm saying? Those are two men. Okay, those are two women. We really don't care. You know what I'm saying? But understand that it's not our thing. So no, we're not gonna always say something favorable. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna always, smile and laugh. You know what I'm saying? And when we see and hear certain things, because it's just it's just not, it's still not comfortable to a lot of people. And y'all have to accept that. Y'all got to accept that. Now, because it's not comfortable to a lot of people, doesn't mean that those people have a problem. It just means that it's not comfortable. It's not a comfortable thought. It's not a comfortable sight. Just accept that. Some people are just never going to be comfortable with it. You know what I'm saying? And I know I took it over here. I took it a little bit ways from what I originally started about, man. But that's just something I wanted to say. LGBT community, y'all are starting to become bullies, man. Y'all are starting to become bullies, forcing your way into the conversation. And then when you get in the conversation, want to tell people what they should be saying and how they should be thinking. Stop doing that. Stop doing that, man. Y'all can't control the room. Y'all want to be in the room, fine, but you can't control the room. You know what I'm saying? You can't control everybody's thoughts. And I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that there, man, because I'm sure we'll get some. I sure will get some fuck you iCENTRICs for that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna move on, man. The big fight this weekend: Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. Here we are, man. The fight that we've all been anticipating for a whole year and 2 months is finally here. I mean, everybody's seen the first fight. Everybody knows how the first fight went. If you didn't see it, I'm sure you've heard about it. And everybody know I'm Team Wilder, but I'll go out. I'll admit, man, we all knew that Tyson Fury was he was gonna be a handful. He was gonna be a whole bag of a whole bag of spice. You know what I'm saying? And something very, very hard to deal with. And he came and showed out. I mean, he basically controlled the whole fight. It was a controversial decision. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really did think that Wilder was going to lose the fight. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the knockdown in the 12th, the knockdown in the, I think, what was it? The ninth round was, I can't remember if it was. Yeah, I think it was the ninth round. The knockdown in the ninth round and the supposed knockout in the 12th round. That's obviously what gave them the justifications to call it a draw. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's face it. Deontay Wilder is he's the money for the division. You know what I'm saying? And so they're not gonna just take the title away. If they have a reason not to take the title, they're just not gonna take it away. I mean, you really have to beat him flawlessly. It has to be a flawless victory in order for them to remove that title from them and put it into Tyson Fury's hands. You know what I'm saying? Especially seeing as how, Tyson Fury, we've already seen world champion Tyson Fury and how he handled it last time. I mean, I'm speaking from a business aspect, how he handled it last time. He damn near destroyed the division completely. You know what I'm saying? Here you have a guy that everybody's ready to honor, and he just flamed out. So finally, we get boxing back to a good place where now we have Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, and welcoming back a Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? They have to be careful, how they move these titles around. So that is what I believe gave the just cause for the controversial decision. You may or may not agree with that. You may or may not like it, but that's what it was. Here we are, Wilder Fury 2. You know what I'm saying? My prediction for the fight, I don't know, just like everybody's saying, it's 50-50. It's hard for me to, it's until I see it happen, it's hard for me to imagine Deontay Wilder losing. As I've always said, the heavyweight division is about power. Sure, the technique, the skills, all of those things, it's boxing. So sure, those things help you, but at the end of the day, it's really about power. And until, unless and until you become the kind of fighter to where you can't move, you can't avoid anything, you can't take no punches, you out there getting abused, and you have no choice but to stand around and wait for that one punch because you just can't move, until it gets to that point, and Wilder's not there. Till it gets to that point, I can't see him losing. You know what I'm saying? I believe he learned a valuable lesson last time. And he's going to be a little more active with his hands. He's going to be a little smarter with his approach to the fight in terms of being patient and not trying to swing for that home run in the first round. Throwing that jab, even if it is that lazy. I hate that lazy jab. I will prefer a much more precise jab. But even the lazy jab, I mean, it'll score if the hand is actually touching the body. It'll get you points, and it'll also keep that other. It buys you time. It keeps that other guy off of you. And that's what he did. That's what he showed in that Ortiz fight. And everybody said, "Oh, well, he was losing every round." I don't agree with that. I don't think that he was losing every round against the Ortiz fighter. But I mean, that don't matter because it ended in a knockout, so it didn't matter to come in and talk about that. So I left that alone. But I just want to say he didn't lose every round in that Ortiz fight. That said, if that guy if that Wilder shows up to this fight and he's more confident in what he's doing and he's more precise and he's using his right, he's taking what's open. And what I'm saying by that, not waiting on that headshot. He's going for the body. He's going for them ribs. He's going for that chest. He throwing that right hand at whatever's open. Keeping Fury back and making him feel that power and keeping him back. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he can take too many shots to the ribs with that right hand. I don't think he can take too many shots to the gut with that right hand. So if he's trained and been coached to that aspect to say, man, listen, take what this guy gives you. If he coming high, you go low. You know what I'm saying? If he does that, this thing will be over early. I think it's going to be a 4th, 5th round knockout, Wilder's favor. If he doesn't do that, if he's standing around, if he's lazy, if it looks like he's just waiting on that one thing, on that one punch, that one home run, I don't think Fury's going. I don't think Fury's going to give it to him this time. I don't think he's going to make mistakes. His whole purpose for I believe it when I see it, but his whole purpose for saying that he's going to press, that's his way of saying I'm not going to let you hang around to just throw one big punch. I'm gonna work you out early. I'm gonna break you down early. I'm gonna wear you out early. So around that 7th round, you'll be ready to go. It ain't gonna be no rescue 911 in the 11th round. You know what I'm saying? Once everybody's tired, you throw something crazy and put him to the ground. That's what Fury's trying to prevent. So he said, I'm gonna wear him out early. I'm gonna take it to him early, and so he's not even around. And that, we ain't even, the 12th round won't even exist. And I feel that. I feel that. Like I say, I believe it when I see it. But getting back to what I was saying, if Wilder does those things, then this should be a 4th, 5th round knockout, because I don't think Fury can take an active punching Wilder if he's just swinging at whatever, not just waiting on the head. It's easy to guard the head, but you can't guard the ribs and the head at the same time. You can't guard the stomach, the ribs, and the head at the same time. So if Wilder's going for what's left open, it's going to end early. If he goes out there and, again, like you said, he's just head hunting and just waiting on Fury to wear down, or waiting on Fury to make a mistake, we're going to see a new WBC champion come Saturday night. And I hate to say it, but that's the way it's going to be. They're not going to give him another gift. He's going to have to, Wilder is going to have to win this fight. He's going to have to win it convincingly. Whether it's knockout or whether you surprise everybody and outbox the dude. I don't see that happening, but either way, you're going to have to win the fight. Somehow, some way, you're going to have to convincingly win this. You're going to have to get Fury all the way out the way in order for them to give you this fight. So that said, that's my hope. I'm not even gonna call it a prediction. That's my hope. I'm hoping for a Wilder knockout in the 4th or 5th round, at the latest the 7th round. That's what I'm hoping. But I think if it goes the distance, they'll give it to me. They're not gonna cheat Fury twice. And I did say cheat. They're not gonna cheat Fury twice. But yeah, let me see. What else did we have, man? I'm just starting to get warmed up. Again, man, I want to shout out to y'all, man. All the supporters of the Realest Spit, man. Thanks for holding us down, man. Holding me down. Please stay tuned. We ain't done. We're gonna keep on kicking it like we do. Please hit the subscribe button. For my YouTubers out there that's checking this out, man. Again, I would really appreciate that support. And till next time, man, I'm going to sign off. I love y'all. I see y'all post-fight. Like I say, we hoping for a wilder victory. Either way, I'm gonna come back, man, and let y'all know what it is. But for now, it's your man DJ iCENTRIC. This is the Realest Spit. We out.